Okay, so let me start with one more few more transformations. Okay, so let me create a new mapping. Okay, so let me explain about aggregator transformation. Okay, so this aggregator transformation basically, which is going to be used to perform any calculations based on certain groups. Like we have group functions, right? So similarly, like if at all group functions in Oracle. Okay, if at all we wanted to perform same group functions in IACS, we have to use aggregator transformation. So this aggregator transformation is going to perform aggregate functions based on certain groups. So what it is going to do, we will have to set up the group by columns, and accordingly the Informatica, first what it is going to do, it will build a cache with the entire data set, and then it is going to form the groups in the backend, and then for each group, whatever the functions that we are applying, those functions will be executed and we will be getting the result. Okay, let's say I'm using an aggregator here. Let me go to the source. So let's start from employees. Okay, so yeah, we have a salary field. So let us assume that, so we wanted to get for each department what is the total salaries that we are delivering it. For each department, what is the total salary that we are delivering it. Okay, now let's say we have, let's say we have a table. Let me create a simple table, debit underscore salary. I'm just creating this table with only department ID and salary. So in this table where I wanted to just load only the department ID and the salary. Okay, for each department, what is the total number, or like what is the sum of salaries that we are delivering it. Okay, so this kind of a requirement also may be coming in real time also. Okay, so not with the exact requirement, but there will be certain simple requirements that, so people wanted to uh, see how much amount that they are distributing to the each department. Okay, on daily basis, because the salaries will be keep changing. Okay, and the new employees will be getting added, and few more employees will be going out of the organization. So in this in these cases, like where we will be setting up a job which is going to be used to do this calculation every day and load it. Okay, so all we wanted to know here is, so aggregator transformation basically it is going to use to perform group level functions. Let me select. So I'm just selecting all the data from employees table. So in the aggregator, what are the properties that we have? Okay. So in the aggregator transformation, first thing is incoming fields. So in the incoming fields, so this is common for all the transformations. Okay. So where we'll be having include and exclude options, or where we can rename the fields which is coming from the previous transformation. Okay. Then group by. So in the group by field, we have to select which all the fields are coming from source. Out of that, on which field we have to do a group by. So now I wanted to do group by a department ID, because I wanted for every department what is the total number of salaries that we are delivering. Then, so these group by fields, we can have a number of fields. Okay, there is no hard rule that we should have only one field. We can have a number of fields here. Then we can go to aggregate. So here we need to create the expressions. O underscore. total salary. This is an integer. Then we have to configure the expression. So in this expression, we have to write group level functions. Sum of salaries. Okay, expression is valid. So any group function, sum, max, min, average, any group function we can write it. So if at all we wanted to perform these kind of group functions, we have to use aggregator only. And then the target table. Select the respective target table. And this again target table option. And then we can see the target table, target fields, like whether the relevant fields came up or not. Then field mapping. So this is the total salary and the department ID. Since we have too many columns here, so as I mentioned in every class, in the incoming fields, we can exclude the unwanted fields so that we will not be having any confusion while we are connecting to the target table. Which are fields that we don't want? This department ID we don't want. This total salary we don't want to check. Rest all the fields we can check it because we don't want all these fields to be connected to the next transformation, sorry, to the field mapping. Now, in the included fields, where we have only these two fields. So the field mapping also, it will be easy for us to connect to the fields. Okay, now we should give the mapping name, m underscore. I'm just saving it. So when we are saving it, we should make sure mapping should be in valid state. Now let me run it. There are 12 rows processed because for every department, this aggregated transformation is going to form one group because we have enabled group by department ID. So how many department IDs are there in the employees table? Those many records should be there in the target table. Distinct department ID just to make sure how many number of departments that we have. There are 12 departments that we have. Okay, so for 12 departments, 12 records uploaded. Let's start from. Okay, so there are 12 records for 12 departments. So department 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 110. Okay, so for each department, how much salaries that we are delivering it. Question here, how this group by function is going to work, sorry, how this aggregator is going to work.
Yes, please.
And one more thing is, in the aggregator transformation, when we are using it, it's not like in SQL. In SQL, like we have to give only the group by columns, right? But in aggregator transformation, when we use it in ISES, we can connect all the fields, and we will get the values also for all the fields. Even though we have enabled group by and department ID, still we can get the values for all the fields. Okay, in fact, I can show that also. Let me take one more target. Only 12 records will go. Group by will happen. Output of aggregator will be 12 records, but we can connect the values for all the fields. In that case, which all the fields will go to the target? Like which all the values will go to the target? Because if you see here in the employees table, where we'll be having for each department, there are certain rows. For each department, there are certain rows, right? For this department, again, there are certain rows. But still, we can connect all the fields to the target and we can load it with group to function. So because only the salary field will be having that sum value, and the rest of the values, rest of the columns also will be able to populate. But which value it is going to, which record value it is going to store? Because as we know that there will be only 12 records will be coming out of the aggregator, along with the rest of the column values also. Which record will go? Which record is the last record of the group will go. Values for the other columns will be going from the last record of the group. This is one of the very important interview question. Okay, when you go for interview, people will be asking. So when you use an aggregator transformation, so if you enable group by on certain field, so you are connecting all the fields to the target. Which record will go to the target? Which record will go to target? You should tell the last record will go to the target. So I'm just saving it because I've connected two targets now. One target is for just department salary, the other target with all the rest of the columns. There are 24 records loaded. Okay. So 12 records went into the department salary and the 12 more records will go to the employee's target. Okay. But only the difference is, so in the department salary table where we will be having only two fields, that is department ID and salary field. But in case of employee target, which is connected, employee's target table, see here also 12 records only there, but every department there is one record values loaded into the other fields. One record. If you see the salaries again, it is loaded with the sum salary. Okay, because if I have connected total salary to the salary field, so the sum value which is coming up. So this is coming from aggregate function, but the rest of the value is also coming for the other columns. So which column value is coming? The last record column of the group will be coming. So apart from the group by field and apart from the group level function applied field, the rest of the columns will be populated with the last record of the group. When aggregator is going to form a group, in that group, whatever the last record will be there, for that last record value will be populated to all other columns. See, when it is forming a group for department 20, there are two records. What is the last record? 202. So what is the employee ID which is loaded here? 202. Okay. So like that, so we can connect the rest of the columns also to the target, but only the last record value will go to the other columns, and the group level function, whatever the group level function that we applied on a column, so that group level function values will be populated. Got it? Any questions here? And one more important interview question on top of aggregator is, how do we eliminate duplicate data using aggregator? So yesterday we have seen certain options using sorter, and we have select distinct option in source, right? And with aggregator, since it is forming the groups, enable group by on all the fields. Okay, enable group by on all the fields, so that for the entire data set of the group by fields that we selected, so one group will be formed, one group will be formed, and each group it is going to give one record. For every group, it is going to give only one record. So when we enable group by on all the fields, if at all there are any duplicate records, so in the group, since it is going to form a group, from that group we'll be getting only one record. That means we'll be getting unique records. Okay. So there are certain ways out of that. Aggregator is another way to eliminate the duplicate data. But aggregator transformation we should be careful to use because it is going to form cache. Okay. And one more question. So one more interview question. So if you don't enable group by on any field, if I don't enable group by on any field, then what is going to happen? I did not enable group by on any field, but if I execute the mapping, what is going to happen? What's going to happen? Only one record, that is the last record will go to the target. Only last record will go to the target. This is also one of the important interview question, because it is going to treat the entire table data set as a single group, and from that group it is going to send the last record to the target table, the last record to the next transformation. If you are enabling group by on any field, so the groups will be formed based on the fields that we selected, and from that every group it is going to send the last record along with the group level functions. If you don't enable group by on any field, it is going to send the last record which is coming from the previous transformation or coming from the source. Okay, the last record here it is 206. So the last record, whatever is coming from source, that record will go to the target 206. If you enable group by, then it will form the groups, and from every group it is going to send the last record. If you don't enable group by, then it is going to send only one record, that is the last record. So these are all the possible interview questions also when you are possible interview questions that you have to understand when you are learning about aggregator transformation. Okay, any questions? Anyone having any questions here?
No, Bhaskar.
No, Bhaskar.
Okay.